I'm going to tell you something that might sound backwards, but the fastest way to get someone interested in you is to stop trying so hard to get them interested in you. I know. That sounds like the worst advice ever when you're lying awake at 3 a.m. thinking about them. But stick with me for the next few minutes because what I'm about to share changed everything for me. But first, I need to know. And be honest in the comments. When was the last time someone seemed really interested in you when you weren't even trying to impress them? Maybe you were just being yourself. Maybe you were focused on something else entirely, but they just noticed you. If you can think of a time like that, then you already know what I'm talking about. You just didn't realize it was happening. Here's what nobody wants to admit. Desperation has a smell. Not literally, but energetically. People can sense when you need their attention versus when you simply enjoy their company. I learned this the hard way. I spent months analyzing every text, every interaction, trying to decode what someone was thinking about me. I was like a detective, but instead of solving crimes, I was trying to solve, why haven't they texted me back yet? Sound familiar? The crazy part is, the harder I tried to make them interested, the less interested they became. It was like trying to hold water in your hands. The tighter you squeeze, the more it slips away. Then my friend told me something that honestly pissed me off at first. She said, "You know what's attractive? Someone who's genuinely happy with their own life." I was like, thanks for the fortune cookie wisdom, Sarah. But then she explained something that made sense. Think about the people you're naturally drawn to. Are they the ones constantly seeking validation? Or are they the ones who seem content, who have their own thing going on, who light up when they talk about their passions? Right, it's always the second type. When you're genuinely focused on your own growth, your own happiness, your own interests, that's when you become magnetic. Not because you're playing hard to get, but because you actually have something going on. Here's what I started doing differently, and why it works so well. Instead of spending my mental energy wondering what they were thinking about me, I started focusing that same energy on becoming someone I'd want to hang out with. Not changing myself for them, that's still focused on them. I'm talking about genuinely developing yourself because you want to be the best version of you. When you shift your focus from, how do I get them to like me, to how do I become someone worth liking, something interesting happens. You stop radiating need and start radiating confidence. And confidence? That's magnetic. But here's the part most people get wrong. They think confidence means acting like you're better than everyone else. That's not confidence. That's insecurity wearing a mask. Real confidence is being comfortable with who you are, flaws and all. It's being genuinely curious about other people instead of constantly worried about what they think of you. So here's what you're going to do starting today. And I'm not talking about playing games or using manipulation tactics. First, find something that genuinely excites you that has nothing to do with this person. A hobby, a goal, a project. Something that makes you lose track of time when you're doing it. When someone asks what you've been up to, you want to have a real answer. Not, oh, nothing much, but I've been learning photography, or I started this really interesting book, or whatever it island. People are attracted to passion. Not passion for them, that's pressure. Passion for life. Second, practice being genuinely interested in other people. Not just the person you're trying to attract, but everyone. Ask questions because you actually want to know the answers, not because you're trying to seem interesting. Third, get comfortable being alone. If you can't enjoy your own company, why would anyone else want to? Here's the mindset that changes everything. Instead of thinking, I hope they like me, start thinking, I wonder if we'd be compatible. See the difference? The first one puts them in the position of power, Tres 3. They get to decide if you're worthy. The second one puts you both on equal ground, Tres 3. You're both evaluating if this could work. When you genuinely believe you have value to offer, you stop begging for crumbs of attention and start expecting mutual interest and respect. And when you expect to be treated well, people usually rise to meet that expectation. When you make this shift, when you stop chasing and start building a life you actually like, something weird happens. People start reaching out to you more, not because you use some technique, but because you became more interesting to be around. You start having better conversations because you're not constantly worried about saying the wrong thing. You start attracting people who are actually compatible with you, instead of people who just like the attention. And here's the best part. If that specific person doesn't respond to this version of you, then they weren't right for you anyway. You just saved yourself months or years of trying to be someone you're not. Now, I'm not saying this is going to make your phone ring in the next hour. That's not how real attraction works. What I am saying is that when you become genuinely magnetic, when you're confident, passionate about your life, and comfortable with yourself, people notice. Sometimes it's the person you were thinking about. Sometimes it's someone even better who you haven't met yet. The key is to do this for you, not for them. Because at the end of the day, the only person you have complete control over is yourself. Look, most people are going to watch this and think that makes sense, but then go right back to checking their ex's Instagram at midnight. Don't be most people. If any of this hit home, if you're tired of feeling desperate and want to feel confident instead, hit that like button. And I'm not going to beg you to subscribe. If you found this helpful, you'll subscribe. If not, that's fine too. Now, about that inner circle I keep mentioning. Here's the thing. I only work with people who are ready to do the work on themselves, not people who want quick fixes to manipulate others into liking them. If you want access to the deeper strategies for building genuine confidence and attraction, you know where to find me. But if you'd rather keep looking for magic formulas and instant results, YouTube has plenty of that content. No judgment. You know which approach actually works. Oh, and that friend Sarah who gave me the advice I initially hated, she's now happily married to someone who pursued her because she was genuinely content with her own life. Meanwhile, I stopped chasing people who weren't that interested and started attracting people who were genuinely excited to know me. I'll share that story in the next video. Click here if you want to know how being selfishly focused on your own happiness actually makes you more attractive to others.